that really finds themselves there. There's 3 more that lose themselves. And then like 20 that just drop out after a year or two and lose thousands of dollars. Growing up, I remember people telling me, in college, attendance doesn't matter. You can even skip class if you want to. And then I get here and almost every class has some kind of attendance credit that completely screws you over if you don't go. I remember one time in freshman year, I had this utterly useless orientation class for engineering where miscellaneous professors came in and gave presentations on like how to build a Lego robot arm that picks your nose and wipes your ass. And the only reason I went is that it was like 20% of my grade. And they made you use these little clicker devices to sign in for attendance, but I forgot mine that day, and so I had to use the phone app instead to sign in, which makes you log into your university account like 3 times before you can use it. And I kept getting my password wrong, and the teacher closed the attendance sign-in. So I asked if I could get attendance, and he just made a vague joke at my expense and refused to answer my question at all and made me look like a moron in front of the class. And then the guy next to me was like, "Yo, he once did that to me and he never gave me attendance. I would just leave if I were you." And so I did. I just walked out in the middle of the lecture and slammed the door. And then I just went out into the university lawn and threw my backpack and just lay on the grass staring up at the clouds. I like to think that professor was tweaking, crying at himself in the mirror after that one, but I'll never know. I never went back to that class again. Then there's the fundamental problem with classes themselves. Enrolling in a college class is like entering an alternate reality tunnel where you're subjected to... I missed 2 classes. 2. And then, on the last day of class, she comes up to me and is like, "Sorry, young man. You were late 5 times, and 5 tardies counts as another absence. So your grade is now a D, you stupid fuck." It took me a good 10 minutes to process what she was telling me, which is that this lady is essentially failing me from her class on the last day with no warning. I swear, on my life, that I was barely ever late and never by more than 5 minutes. You would think that she'd mentioned this oddly specific grading mechanic once in class, but nope. So that was awesome. The worst part is how different the same class can be between professors. I remember that same semester my friends and I, consisting of 2 engineering majors and 1 architecture major, were all required to take a music appreciation class. Which, first of all, what the fuck? But second of all, we somehow ended up getting assigned to different professors that taught the same course. Now, my friend's professor did not give a shit about the class. It was entirely online, open note, so they just Googled every assignment. My professor, on the other hand, was this sick, twisted bastard whose class was completely in person, and every few weeks we had a 50-question, no notes allowed exam in which we had to memorize like 15 different classical music pieces and answer questions like how many moles were on Beethoven's left testicle. I literally almost failed that class. It obliterated my GPA along with Japanese. And yet my friends passed without studying or attending class once. And according to the school, these are the exact same class. Are you seeing the problem here? And then you realize that all this bullshit is just a